Hey everyone, and welcome to RUBIN'S Mind Lab, where we break down the latest research into what it really means. Ever wonder if your dreams are just random nighttime movies, or if they actually reveal something deeper about your mind? That is exactly what some scientists wanted to figure out. They looked at thousands of dreams to see if there was a hidden structure to what we dream about. Think about it. When you are awake, your thoughts are influenced by what you see, hear, and do. But when you dream, it is like your brain is off exploring its own inner world. The big question is this inner world organized, or is it just a jumble of thoughts and images? So, how do you even study dreams in a scientific way? It is tricky, right? You can't exactly put a sensor on someone's head while they're dreaming and read their mind directly, at least not yet in a detailed way. These researchers used a cool new computer trick. They took a massive collection of over 21,000 dream stories. Then they fed these stories into a special computer program, like a super smart language detector. This program turns each dream story into a bunch of numbers, like a unique code or fingerprint for that dream. Imagine each dream becoming a point in a giant, invisible space. The idea is that if dreams are structured, these points won't be scattered randomly. They should form patterns. They used a specific computer model that is really good at understanding the meaning of words and sentences. This model looked at each dream report and turned it into a list of numbers or a vector. They did this for every single dream. What is really neat is that this computer program has different layers, like different levels of understanding. The early layers might pick up on simpler things like specific words or how sentences are put together. The deeper layers try to grasp more complex ideas and the overall meaning. By looking at these different layers, the scientists could see what kind of information was being captured at each level. Now, dreams can be long. So, they broke down longer dreams into smaller pieces, analyzed each piece, and then put it all back together to get a single, rich representation for each dream. It is like taking a big puzzle, analyzing each piece, and then having a complete picture. This whole process is illustrated here. They started with the dream reports and all the information they had about the people who dreamed them, like their gender, age, and even a short description of who they were. Then, the computer model did its magic, creating those numerical fingerprints. The big question then became, does this invisible space of dreams show any order? Do dreams from the same person group together? Do dreams from people of the same gender cluster in certain areas? And does the time a dream happened affect its place in this space? They first checked if dreams from the same person were closer to each other in this numerical space. And guess what? They found that dreams from the same individual were indeed more similar to each other than to dreams from different people. This similarity was strongest in those deeper layers of the computer model, the ones that capture more abstract meaning. This suggests that each person has a unique way of dreaming, a kind of personal signature that shows up in the content. It is not just about random words, but about deeper themes and styles that are unique to you. They even did a clever check. They removed any explicit names from the dream stories before running the analysis again, and the pattern of dreams from the same person clustering together remained. This is important because it tells us that the similarity wasn't just because people were mentioning their own names. It was about something more fundamental in their dream narratives. Next, they looked at gender. They compared dreams from people of the same gender versus dreams from people of different genders, while making sure to account for the fact that different people have different dream styles. They found that gender also played a role, though it was a weaker signal than individual identity. This gender information became clearer in those deeper, more abstract layers of understanding. This hints that there might be some shared patterns in dreams related to gender, but it is more subtle than a person's unique dream signature. Then they looked at time. They wanted to see if dreams from the same decade were more similar to each other. They tracked this by looking at how the similarity between dreams changed as the time difference between them increased. Interestingly, this temporal effect was strongest in the earlier layers of the computer model. These layers are more about the surface level of language, like the words used and the way stories are told. This suggests that as time goes on, the way people talk about their dreams changes. Language and storytelling styles evolve, and this is reflected in the dream reports. It doesn't necessarily mean the core meaning of dreams is changing drastically decade by decade, but rather how we express those dreams. This figure visually shows that point. You can see how identity and gender effects get stronger in the deeper layers, while the time effect is more prominent in the earlier layers. It is like identity and gender are etched into the deeper semantic meaning of dreams, while time is more about the shifting language we use to describe them. They also did a deeper dive into the temporal aspect, specifically looking at the distance between dreams in days. They wanted to see if dreams that happened closer in time were more similar in content, even for the same person. And they found that yes, dreams that are closer in time tend to be more semantically similar. This makes sense. Your waking life experiences and concerns likely carry over into your dreams, and these things change change gradually over time. Here is another fascinating finding. They looked at the short descriptions the researchers had for each dreamer, like a young girl or a woman in her 40s. They found that if two dreamers had similar descriptions, their dreams also tended to be more similar. This is a really powerful connection. It suggests that the way we describe ourselves, our personal characteristics, are reflected in the very fabric of our dreams. It is like the computer model is picking up on the shared essence of people who are described similarly. So, what does all of this mean? The big takeaway is that dreams are not just random noise from your sleeping brain. Instead, they show a clear, structured organization. Your dreams are influenced by who you are as an individual, and to some extent by your gender. They also track changes in your life over time, though this seems to be more tied to the language we use to describe them. This means that those deeper meanings, the core themes and connections in your dreams, are what really distinguish you and show some broader patterns. This research goes against the idea that dreams are just a chaotic mess. It supports the idea that dreams are meaningful expressions of your underlying cognitive world, your memories, your experiences, and your concerns. Your dreams are like a personalized diary of your inner life, with each person leaving their unique imprint. This fits with the idea that dreaming is a way for our brains to process our waking experiences, consolidate memories, and work through our emotions. Remember how the time effect was stronger in the early layers. That means that while your dreams do reflect the passage of time and changes in your life, the way you talk about those changes, the language you use, plays a big role in how that temporal connection shows up in the data. It is more about evolving narrative styles than a fundamental shift in what your dreams are fundamentally about. Now, it is important to be critical. One limitation the researchers themselves point out is that they're analyzing dream reports, which are stories told after waking up. And, as we all know, our memory of dreams can be fuzzy. And the way we tell them can be influenced by how we want to explain them, or even just the words we have available at that moment. So, some of the structure they found might be in how dreams are reported, not just how they are experienced. They mentioned that brain imaging is starting to decode dreams, but it is still early days and not yet practical for analyzing thousands of dreams like this. So for now, analyzing dream stories is still our best window into this inner world. Ultimately, this study paints a picture of dreams as being much more structured and meaningful than we might think. They're not just random firings of neurons, they're complex expressions of our individual selves, influenced by who we are and what we experience. This research offers a powerful new way to study the mind, both when we're awake and when we're asleep. It shows us that even in our most private and often bizarre inner experiences, there are patterns, there is meaning, and there is a fascinating geometry to our dreams. It is like unlocking a new level in understanding ourselves. What do you think about these findings? Do your dreams feel structured to you? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this dive into the science of dreams, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to RUBIN'S Mind Lab for more explorations into the amazing world of psychology. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.